Dear listeners, let's get straight to the main story. My father and his brothers are 4 in total. The incident dates back to 10 years ago, just before the Isha prayer. Suddenly, a stray dog entered my middle uncle's house. As soon as it stepped into the yard, it ran straight into the cow shed and began to spoil the cattle's food. Hearing the commotion of the cows, my uncle and I rushed out of our house and witnessed the scene. Without wasting a second, my uncle ran towards the cowshed. At that moment, the dog dashed towards the cowshed door, but my uncle quickly slammed the door shut. Unfortunately, the dog's head got stuck in the door's gap, and in a matter of moments, it succumbed to the impact and died. Having no other choice, my uncle decided to dispose of the dog's body. He picked it up and walked towards the western jungle of our village to discard it. Just then, my younger uncle's eldest daughter, Rumi, insisted on going with him. However, my uncle refused to take her along. When she kept insisting and started crying, he had no option but to take her with him. They threw the dog's body into the jungle and returned home safely without any trouble. That night, everything seemed normal, and we thought the unexpected event had ended. However, the real horror began the following day. The next day, Rumi developed a high fever. After Isha prayer, we suddenly heard my younger aunt screaming. Everyone rushed out of their houses, alarmed. When we asked her what had happened, she cried out, "Rumi is behaving very strangely. She keeps trying to run out of the house, saying, 'This is not my home. I cannot stay here. I must go to the jungle. They are calling me. They have come to take me away.' I couldn't control her, so I locked her inside and called for help. Hearing this, my uncle and I ran to Rumi's room. The moment we opened the door, she tried to escape. We grabbed her from behind, but despite being a 12 or 13-year-old girl, her strength was unnaturally strong. It was as if she was possessed by some unknown force. Somehow, we managed to bring her back inside and tie her to the bed. Suddenly, she lost consciousness. Terrified by what we had witnessed, I ran to our neighboring house and called an elderly man named Nefatullah Shah, who was known for his spiritual healing and Ruqya, Islamic exorcism. As soon as we entered Rumi's room with him, she regained consciousness and, upon seeing him, started laughing mockingly. Then, in a deep, heavy voice, she spoke. "So, you have brought him? What will he do to us? Go. Bring a real healer or an exorcist. Just looking at this old man disgusts me. He cannot free this girl from us. Leave now before you bring more harm to yourself and your family." The elderly man approached Rumi, held her left pinky finger tightly, and started reciting powerful verses. He blew air onto her face while continuing his prayers. Instantly, Rumi started writhing and convulsing violently. After a while, she lost consciousness again, but the old man did not stop his prayers. Suddenly, Rumi's body started shaking, as if she was experiencing an earthquake. Moments later, she regained consciousness, but this time, in a chilling mixed voice, she spoke. "We are 7 jinns from the Sanatan faith. Last night, this girl stepped into our jungle. Our little sister was lying on that path, and this girl unknowingly stepped on her hair. Our elder brother has developed a liking for her. We want her. We will take her away very soon. Try stopping us if you can." With that, she let out a terrifying laugh. The old man continued reciting Quranic verses and blowing them onto her. Suddenly, Rumi let out a blood-curdling scream and lost consciousness. The elderly man then made a protective circle on the floor and sat Rumi inside it. He began chanting powerful prayers again. After a while, Rumi regained consciousness, but spoke in a deep male voice. "Why have you called me back again?" The exorcist firmly asked, "Why are you tormenting this girl?" Rumi's possessed voice responded, "We have kept our promise. We are not hurting her anymore. But the reason for her current state is someone else. Someone from this very village. A woman, her own aunt, has used black magic on her. That woman wanted this girl to marry her son. But since the girl's mother refused, she cast a spell using this girl's scarf and hair." The voice continued, "Do not worry. I will bring you the cursed objects. Destroy them, and she will be completely free. Also, I give my word. I will never let any harm come to this girl. I have always liked her and will protect her from all dangers in the future." With these words, Rumi lost consciousness again. The exorcist continued his prayers, blew air onto her face one last time, and instructed us to take her home. Following his advice, we brought Rumi back. After a few moments, she regained consciousness and started behaving completely normally, as if nothing had ever happened. At that moment, we all realized that the dark shadow over her life had finally lifted. Since that day, Rumi has never experienced anything unusual again. In the end, dear listeners, whether you believe in this or not is entirely up to you.